welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. So today's video is gonna be a bit of a more serious video. I'm just gonna talk about some things. Triangle. You're gonna have to excuse the kids because they're with me 24/7. I can't really do nothing with them, so if they're making sounds, I apologize. London is playing. Ashlyn is chilling in my lap for now, but I'm sure that won't last very long. Anyways, if you don't really like serious topics or more mature topics or anything like that, then feel free to just skip this video. You don't have to watch it. There will be mention of some more adult-y things that young ears might not know about or might not need to hear about, I guess. So that's a hexagon. So yeah, like I said, feel free to skip if you're not comfortable watching something like this, but I think it's really important to talk about, and that is mental health. It is 2020, almost 2021 here soon, and I feel that mental health still isn't taken seriously. Some people say that they understand it, and like sometimes the world likes to pretend that we're understood and appreciated and whatever else, but in day-to-day life it's not actually that great. As someone who struggles with mental health issues, I definitely go through life feeling very misunderstood and unappreciated, and sometimes insecure, I guess, that people just don't want me around because I've been told many times my whole life, you know, oh, you're too depressed, you're too sad for me, you know, you just drag people down with your moods, like you're always in a bad mood, you're never happy, and like just tearing me down for something that I can't necessarily help. But for years I've had people, you know, tell me I don't want to deal with you because you're too depressed, basically. And it's really frustrating because instead of someone trying to actually sit down and understand a person and what makes them who they are and how they feel, they would rather just push them to the side and not deal with them. I live in a life where pretty much nobody understands me, and it's really exhausting because I feel like I'm constantly having to defend myself, and just everyone just makes it seem like I'm just crazy. You know, she's just crazy, you know, like she's psycho. Instead of being like, oh yeah, she struggles mentally, let's help her out, or let's not make her feel worse about herself. So I definitely don't appreciate that. So if you have someone in your life who struggles with things like this, or if you yourself do, first of all, try and surround yourself with people that understand it. I know it's hard, but that's pretty much all we can do, because sometimes normal people just refuse to care in a way. They just refuse to, you know, be there for us, accept us, I guess. They just expect us to change. They want us to change things that we can't help, because mental illness is like, it's in your brain. It's not just, oh, I'm sad. You know, it's literally a chemical imbalance in your brain that causes these things, and it's not something that just can go away overnight. It's something that most people struggle with for a lifetime. I'm really bad about putting my thoughts and feelings into words, so if this sounds a bit like random or scattered or rambly, I apologize. But I'm just really frustrated with the lack of awareness around mental health still in 2020. As much as the world wants to pretend that we're aware, a lot of people aren't, or they just refuse to. And it's frustrating for those of us who struggle and want friends or want support or want respect. Little backstory on what makes me struggle with mental health so much. I didn't have the best childhood. I'm not gonna sit here and play, oh, whose life was worse or anything like that, because 100% there are people out there that had it worse than I did, or there are people that may have had it better than I did, but they're still sad sometimes, and that's okay. It's not a competition. There's no reason to try and drag someone else down whenever they're already down. We're not trying to, it's not a rock throwing contest. It's literally like, if you're sad, be sad. You're allowed to feel whatever you want to feel. You don't have to worry about what anyone else feels. You only have to worry about yourself. So even though there are people out there that may have had it worse than I did, tons of people that had it worse than I did, that doesn't take away from the fact that I had a bad childhood, or that I struggled, or that I feel things. So don't have that mentality of, you know, someone always has it worse. Because yes, someone always has it worse, and someone always has it better. But we are our own people with our own emotions and our own feelings, and people need to stop just bottling everything up for the sake of others. So just a quick little backstory on my childhood. I'm not going to get too into it. I was born to a teen mom. She was 14 when she had me. My dad left when I was a baby. Then she got with another man who raised me as his own. I saw him as a father. I didn't know him as anything but my father because I was so young. Then they split up, but they still like shared custody of me. And this man ended up molesting me when I was about 9 years old. And then my mom got in a relationship with someone else with whom she had my brother and sister. And this man was very abusive. He was into a lot of bad things, drugs, alcohol. He was very controlling, and I had to witness my mom being abused for a good 4 or 5 years, I'd say. And I've always been like the black sheep of the family pretty much when it comes to, I've always felt left out, or like I didn't belong, or people didn't want me there. Me and my mom never had a very good relationship. We fought a lot, we didn't really get along, and I ended up moving out of my mother's house when I was probably around 13. I moved in with her mom, my grandmother, who I also didn't really get along with, but in my mom's house it got pretty hectic. There was a lot of kids. I felt really replaced because she had my brother and sister with the abusive guy, and then she got with someone new who is still her boyfriend now. He's not a bad guy in the way that everyone else was a bad guy. I mean, he's nice, he treats her well. He's not abusive or anything like that, but by the time she got to him, I was just over the father figures, and I never really cared to have anything to do with him. He used to always try to like sit down and talk with me when I was feeling depressed, and I'm like, dude, like, you're not helping. You're just degrading me more. He, you know, he just wasn't the best when it came to trying to be a father figure when I didn't want it. I was done trying to have a father figure. I wanted to do my own thing. So with him, she had my youngest brothers. So I have, from my mom, I have a half sister and 3 half brothers. And I just felt replaced by all of them, and like nobody really wanted me around. And I was pretty miserable. I was bullied all through middle school. I was sexually harassed all through middle and high school, which was really, you know, annoying, frustrating, because a lot of people just, you know, the only time anyone really wanted to do anything with me was just, you know, boys flirting with me because they wanted to get a little action, I guess you could say. So that was frustrating. Nobody wanted to be my friend. And the only people that really associated with me much were guys that just wanted to get in my pants, per se. And yeah, it was really annoying. I was pretty lonely. I had one good friend throughout middle and high school, but we definitely had our ups and downs. We had our outs sometimes where we weren't friends, and, you know, middle and high school stuff. But we're still as much of friends as we can be till this day, living 9 hours apart and having our own lives and stuff. But that's pretty much all I had, was her, and then whatever dudes just followed me around because they liked me and just wanted to use me, I guess. Yeah, I had a reputation for being a hoe throughout school, even though I really wasn't one. I dated around a lot, but that was one of those, you know, I didn't really get attention at home, so I looked for attention elsewhere, which was in boys. But I mean, I was in middle and high school. It was just like I had like week-long boyfriends, or we would go to Skateland together and hold hands. Like it wasn't anything serious. I didn't sleep around, so like I didn't live up to the title, you know? People just liked to spread rumors that weren't true. The end of my 8th grade year, I was sick of it. I had already had to swear off riding the bus because every day on the bus ride home, there would be 3+ guys that would just constantly sit there and harass me and try and stick their hands down my shirt or their hands down my pants, or, you know, just sexually harassing me. And I got tired of it, and I told my mom I didn't want to ride the bus anymore, which for a while they didn't listen to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally being sexually harassed every day that I ride this bus, and I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. And I got sick of going to school. I didn't want to be around all those people that literally made my life miserable all the time. So I decided I wanted to do online school for high school, and my mom agreed to it. But then she never got around to actually signing me up for it. And then school came and started, and everyone else started, and I was still at home doing nothing because I was waiting for my mom to sign me up for online school. And then as time went by and she still hadn't done it, it was like, you know what, I have to go to high school because you're setting me behind, and I can't just not go to school, so I guess we have to go enroll me into the high school, which I was not happy about. So I went to the high school. It was pretty much the same like situation as middle school. I kept to myself a lot. I never went in the cafeteria. I would go to the courtyard sometimes whenever I had friends or whatever boyfriend I had. But for the most part, I stuck to myself. I would eat lunch in my teacher's classrooms, and any free time I would spend in my teacher's classrooms reading. I was doing my work. I didn't really have friends or anything like that. Like, there are people that assumed, oh, you know, you were popular in high school. No, I wasn't. Like, most of the time, people that I went to middle school with, if I would go to talk to them now that I also went to high school with, they had no idea that I was even at the high school. My first day of school, I actually met Christopher, but he was with someone else at the time. He rode the bus with me because there was a time period in high school when I did have to go back to riding the bus, and he was kind of like my protector on the bus, where he always sat with me so that I didn't have to deal with everyone else. I graduated high school a year early. I graduated my junior year, and by the time I forced myself through graduating high school, I was so over it that I didn't even want to think about college. I knew I would hate it. And I didn't want to put myself through that, so that's why I didn't really end up going to college. A little secret, I guess, to go along with that is I am currently looking into going back to school in a way. I'm just looking down my avenues and seeing what my options are. So I am doing some research and looking into going to college now that I guess I've had a break, and I've kind of decided that I might want to go back and further my education some more, just to be doing something with myself, you know? But basically the gist of it is I never had friends. I didn't get along with many people. I always felt left out of my dad's side of the family, and I always felt like my mom's side never really wanted me. My grandma originally wanted to force my mom to give me up for adoption whenever I was born, so I kind of always assumed, you know, she didn't really want me, and that always was in the back of my head. I'm like, dude, you wanted to get rid of me, like you don't even want me here. It was one of those kinds of situations. I always had these feelings that people didn't believe me about the whole molestation thing, so I kind of didn't like people for that reason, because I'm like, that's like something really serious, and it's literally like affected my whole life that happened, and you're gonna not believe me. Like, that's cool. And now that I'm an adult and have all of those things just bottled up inside of me, and just how every different thing has affected me down the line, how, you know, I don't really trust people, I don't like father figures, I don't really like male authority, I don't have a relationship with my family, so it's like really lonely. I live 9 hours away from them, so it would be hard to have a relationship with them anyways. But it's lonely living like this. And then it comes down to depression and anxiety runs in my family. My mom has it, her dad has it, my uncle has it, my dad has it. you know, it's in my genes to have mental illnesses as well because they are genetic sometimes. Now that you have the backstory on kind of what has made me who I am today in present time, how my depression and anxiety presents itself, because it can be different for everyone, and that's why a lot of people don't understand it. Like Christopher struggles as well, but his presents itself in a different way, so it makes it hard for him to understand mine because his looks different to him, or mine looks different to him, so he doesn't really understand it. And that's kind of my point. Nobody understands, and instead of trying to understand, they just kind of brush you off, you know? Depression wise, I've struggled with depression for many years, going back at least to like 12-13 years old, where I distance myself a lot, I isolate myself a lot, I think badly about myself, I have little to no motivation. It's hard for me to enjoy things or have a hobby or anything like that. There are days where I just really don't want to get out of bed, but I have to force myself because I have 2 kids to take care of now. It's not just about me, so I do have to like force myself to get up and get things done, which is really exhausting. And I've kind of learned how to live with the depression in a way, but when you throw in the anxiety on top of it, it just kind of makes it like 10 times worse. But I detach myself from people a lot. I've cut off a lot of ties, and like I said, I isolate myself. I lose motivation. I'm really tired and fatigued all the time, no matter how much sleep I get. I have low appetite in a way, like either I don't really eat at all or I snack all day long just because I'm like bored or something. Like overeating and undereating are actually symptoms of depression, if you didn't know that. I struggle with falling asleep. I struggle with insomnia or sleeping too much. So that's kind of how the depression presents itself. But like I said, I've kind of learned to live with it. But the anxiety, on the other hand, it's more new. I feel like I've always actually had it deep down, like throughout my childhood and my preteen age. I just didn't know. And everyone just always wrote me off as, oh, she's just shy. No one ever cared to dig deeper and find the real reasoning to why I was how I was as a child. I was very reserved. I was shy. I was really sensitive. I cried a lot over everything as a kid. I outgrew that probably around like 15, but that's kind of just because I had like grown a tougher skin, I guess, and like started detaching myself more, so I wasn't getting so emotionally attached to things that it would make me cry all the time. But my anxiety pretty much peaked to its high around whenever London was born. That's when like I guess you could kind of say postpartum anxiety, but it's lasted this whole time and it probably will continue to last. Anxiety wise, you know, I struggle with doing like day-to-day things. I don't like being in public. I don't like doing stuff by myself. I hate going out and running errands by myself with the girls because I always think of the worst things happening. Like, you know, you've got all this child sex trafficking stuff going on and kidnapping and like just shootings and all the crime and everything. It's always just sitting in the back of my head. I don't want to say irrational because it happens, but my mind is constantly thinking that something's gonna happen, and I always have to be super aware of my surroundings. Like, I think, you know, someone's gonna take London out of the car whenever I'm putting groceries up, or someone's gonna snatch London out of the cart when I'm just walking around Walmart, or someone's gonna attack me when I have the kids and I have Ashlyn strapped to my chest and I can't defend myself, or things like that. Like, that's what I think about when I'm out in public, and I hate going out by myself. And like, Christopher doesn't really understand that. He's like, why can't you just do this by yourself? I don't want to go by yourself, you know? And like, I want to. In my head, I don't want to hate going by myself. Like, I want to be able to go do stuff by myself because he can't always go with me, but it's just so hard and it makes me so anxious. Whenever I'm home alone at night and I hear any sound, my mind immediately jumps to, someone's gonna break into your house, how are you gonna protect yourself? And I have to feel like I have to like plan out an escape route or a plan or figure out what I'm gonna do, and I start thinking of all these different scenarios of what would happen, and then I can't sleep because then I've made myself anxious. There are certain situations that really bother me where I will have like these panic attacks. And during these panic attacks, you know, I cry, I get really like angry where I just want to throw things, I shake and tremble uncontrollably, I can't sleep, I get really hot, my heart races, my chest hurts, you know, things like that happen. Like I could cry to the point that my eyes are almost completely swollen shut for the next day. But the moral of this story, I have avoided getting any sort of help for a really long time because I'm still on the fence about medicine. I don't really, like, I don't want to have to take medicine for the rest of my life just to like be functional or be okay. I want to be able to do it by myself, but every day I'm getting closer and closer to being like, well, you obviously can't do it by yourself. Like, what else? There's not really much else you can do because it's literally a chemical imbalance in your head. It's not really something that just goes away. But there are different types of treatments, you know, there's counseling, there's journaling, there's medicine, there's all these different things that I haven't done any of because I've been too scared to. I've always hated therapy because anytime I've gone to any sort of therapy, I've always left feeling belittled and degraded. I don't like going to someone and saying, okay, I'm feeling really down about this, or I'm feeling really sad with life, and them just being like, oh, you just gotta think positive, you know? Just think positive and it'll be okay. Just focus on the good things. Like, yes, sir, I realize that, but I can't always do that, you know? It's easier said than done. Like, I would love to just be able to think positive and all my problems go away, but it doesn't work like that. But I have finally decided to get the help that I need. COVID makes it a little complicated because I can't go anywhere because I have the kids. But I found a place that I can do like the telehealth and the over the phone stuff or whatever. And I finally got up the courage to do it. I did the call last week, or like this past Tuesday. Yeah, this past Tuesday I had a call with a therapy office or whatever, where this was basically just like a get to know you call, where she asked me how I felt, what my problems were, and like just basic like history. Like, I just went through all of the main events that happened in my life that have affected me and stuff, and you know, it was just telling her like my symptoms and how I feel and how things affect me and stuff like that. And I'm waiting on calls to like get further treatment, like, you know, there's setting up to do counseling or therapy or whatever, or like if I wanted to meet with a psychiatrist to talk about medications and stuff like that. Like, I finally kind of kick-started it and decided that I was sick of living like this and being so miserable all the time, because I've really been stuck in a rut lately where I feel like I'm not anything but a mom. I don't have any hobbies or friends or much of a life at all. And I never get a break, which is very exhausting, which is also part of my anxiety because I literally don't trust anyone with my kids. So I just can't ever have a break because I don't have anyone to watch the kids near me because everyone lives 9 hours away. And my mental health has just gotten worse and worse and worse, and I got sick of it. So hopefully this stuff helps some and we can figure out some sort of plan to get me on a better track. I can never be cured of this. I just need to find better ways to manage it, because right now I'm kind of just like pushing through, trying to ignore it, even though you can't really ignore it because it's like always there and it's really bad, you know? But point is, I finally decided to reach out and get some help, and hopefully I'm not gonna regret this decision. So like I said, I hate therapy. I'm hoping I get a good therapist that's not gonna belittle me and treat me like a child the whole time, you know? Like, I want to be treated like a real person, and I want to leave a therapy appointment feeling like they helped me not feeling worse than I went in. So if you're someone that struggles with these same types of things or anything like this, I'm here. I feel ya. I know what it's like. And if you have someone around you in your life that feels this way, try to be more understanding. They really need it. They really need your support. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did, I understand if you didn't, because it's probably pretty boring to some of you. I appreciate those of you that are here and support me on here and everything. Being someone on social media, there's always people that will hate or won't understand or whatever, but there's also the people that do understand, and that's what I'm here for. Can't really say I hope you enjoyed, because I mean, what's to enjoy about me ranting about my life and my problems, I guess. I hope I could help someone or can help someone. Like, y'all are always free to like DM me on Instagram if you want to, which my Instagram will be in the description box. As I said, if you ever want to talk or anything, you're free to DM me on Instagram. I can't make any promises because I'm not the best at holding conversations. Like, if I seem short with you or anything like that, I promise it's not me being mean or rude, or it has nothing against any of you. I'm just really bad at holding conversations, which plays into, you know, I isolate myself, and I have really bad anxiety where I constantly think I'm gonna say the wrong thing or someone's gonna think that I'm stupid or something like that. So yeah, I will try my best to answer you and have a conversation with you, but sometimes it's really hard for me, so just don't take that personally, and please don't hold it against me. But my DMs are open if you ever want to talk to me. Yeah, so please leave a like and a comment below. If you could just like comment and, you know, tell me if you understand or if you feel the same way or if you support me or anything like that. That would be great to have some reassurance. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
All the scars start to heal when I'm with you, and I can't explain how I feel when I'm with you. Just give a little bit of your heart, give a little bit of your heart to me.